All right, so we've got Tuesday, 18 April. So let's take a look. Okay, this is Monday yesterday, right? So these were the Astro hours up here. I've got gold, euro, dollar, Dow Jones here, and then we'll soon go on to SP 500, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. So as you can see, that was a weekly pivot there. Daily pivot was also here, as you know, and then it's pretty much came down into this Astro hour zone here, and from here, as you can see, went up to there, and that was the end of the day. Now this is today, and I added the Astro hours for today, which I'm going to post in also the members area. Okay, so what you need to focus on is going to be on these hours, but if that was a low, so this should probably sizzle up or go sideways. Okay, so what you want to be doing, this is gold. Okay, if you want to buy around here or the low of Asia, it's okay to do so. The daily pivot is okay. What can I say? This zone is okay to go long. Okay. If you take a look at the daily, I talked about the weekly breaking out here, so I don't want to be standing in front of it. Yesterday I said if we come down, I want to buy as well, and as you can see, it popped down into that 1984. Why? Because 1984. Where is 1984? Is here 1984.72, right? 61.60, 61.02. So if you're using the 80 AM, you know where the good buy kisses are. Okay, so that's why. Also, what you can do is this. You can also wait for the market to come down here. Okay, I said this would be a sell location yesterday, and that was between 20 and 10. So between 2010, 2020, we said we'd sell, and this was a zone there, and that was a daily pivot. So the market sold off, and that's 1984 there. Now, if the market still does come down lower, it could still do so. Why? Because we got these levels here. Now, 45, 43, and 41. That's 65, 56, 47. So now I've got 65, which is there, 56, which is there, and 47, which is there, around there, 47. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so that's just how it is. So we've got levels down here as well. On the other hand, like I said, 1, 2, 3, and the market can come down. We should be looking for a good ABC pullback. The reason being is, if you do your count, this is the daily. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, and then we've got that 3, 4 is a complex wave, and that's your fifth wave. Okay, so, and then you got the 3 taps, 1, 2, 3, boom, down. So retracement to sell back down is also okay. That level is 58, 2014 today. So if I do this 2014, okay, this zone is again going to be a good buy kiss on the daily. Okay, so selling from around those levels is also not a bad idea at all. We're going to have to play both sides, but I'd be careful with the lot size simply because this is a breakout. Okay, it's like it's got potential to push up, and the world is in a tricky situation. Okay, so that's basically it. And any pullback into these zones again is also okay to buy, as you can see. I prefer the daily ones down here, but nevertheless these are on the monthly, so we'll have to keep an eye out for them as well. If you want to trade safe, wait for the Astro hours. If you already know Astro hour calculations from me, you would have taken in that this morning. Okay, let's take a look at the euro dollar. Euro dollar yesterday, I said this zone was a sell zone here as well, as you can see. This was a really good operation yesterday, right there and right there as well. Okay, so the market pulled up and then just sizzled down. The high of Asia, I said you could also sell off at. That's there, as you can see. You wouldn't have gotten stopped out there, because if you went in there, your stop loss should have been just above there. Okay, because that was the high there. Stop loss should have been above there. All right, so you should have been okay with this trade, and we said we'd be coming into this zone, and that's exactly what it did. All right, right there. Okay, into that zone. That's your zone. So no dramas there at all. Now what? Well, it's a good question. Is now what? We are in April, and the first quarter is gone. The first quarter is gone. We're in the second quarter, coming into the half year. So what we're going to do on the euro dollar is this. This was the daily support, as you can see. If we go back up, we're going to look for a sell opportunity at the weekly pivot. So if the market comes up into the weekly pivot, okay, you'll want to be looking to sell. This is still valid. This zone is still valid. On the daily, that's going to be far out. You can see that white line I posted in yesterday. Now the market has done it itself. Let me just check. Whoops. The low of that. 0972. So if we come up into this zone, okay, you'll be looking to sell at Astro hours if the market does that. Okay. If you want to buy 0871 is down there. It's a bit down there. Let's put 0871 down here because it's a weekly level on the price. Okay. There, 0871. And that is all the way down here. So 52 is 1.07. Well, we'll worry about that if we start to fall down. Okay, but it's a good impulse wave. A retest of that is okay to sell, in my opinion. US 30. Now, yesterday, I said we're at the tops here. With the US 30, I said we've got the swing days, possibly a high on Wednesday, right? So this is the daily here. As you can see, we've got 73, 74. So that 34, 223, 176. 34, 176, 223 is going to be there. That is on the daily. All right, so a push into that zone is okay going above the high for yesterday. If it comes up there, like I said, I'd rather have it come up on Wednesday and Thursday to sell off. Okay, and that's a good zone to do that in. So marking your PST levels, and that 58 is 34,141. 34,141. So that's your kill zone. You see, it's eyeing it up. 34,141. There, it's eyeing that level up. If it gets up there, with sellers up here, remember. Okay. And yesterday I said if we pull back, it's a good opportunity to buy at Astro hours. You can see this was not an Astro hour. This was a technical level right on the weekly pivot. But, you know, sometimes that does happen. What can you do? All right. And that's just how it is now. If we pull back into the Astro hours, into the daily here, okay, which is going to also include this little zone there. So if we get in there in the US hours, you can push up again as well, okay? Or the white line here, the daily pivot here. If in the Astro hours we pull back, we could buy to go there. If it goes up there first, obviously then we're going to have to look to sell. Let's take a look at SP 500, NASDAQ, and Bitcoin. With Bitcoin, as you already know, like we're buyers and holders. We're hodling on that one. I don't day trade it. We don't day trade crypto, despite the fact that you can make 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 times your money. Okay. I don't look into it because I can't look into everything. So if you're going to trade, pick something and stick with it so you're on top of your game all the time. Because the more stuff you're trading, the more, um, the lack of focus is going to be. All right. So I'd stick to a few things that you know what's going on with, rather than a bunch of crypto projects that could do anything at any time. Obviously, it's your prerogative, but being on top of your game is very important, and then not to lose focus as well, because then you start losing your consistency. So here we are with SP 500. You can see we're in that zone here as well. Not a lot of movement. The market is still here. Let's take a look at that weekly level again. That's 60 there. 4189. We're going to put that on there. 4189 is already there, as you can see. Okay, 4189. And on the daily as well, we've got 72 and that blue line LCL1 there, which is 4167, 4178. So 4167, 4178. Okay. There. So this has also got a bit of room to push up. If it does, we must sell. Okay, just understand. I gave you the swing days for SP 500 as well. Okay, if it gets up there, which I suspect it will, we must sell. All right, so when it gets up into that zone, just understand that's what we're going to do from this zone here. Okay, the 72, the blue line, and obviously the weekly there, which are mixed, which are all blended in there. So at these levels, we should push up there. If it's an astro hour, you want to push it down. Also yesterday, as you can see, we had that there and that there. Now with this one, we had the astro hours here, 7:30, 8 o'clock yesterday. Okay, and then we had the 6:20, right? So this is 6:30. So 6:30 was an astro hour. Sorry, 6:20 was an astro hour. Then we had the 7:30 to 8 o'clock period, which is right there. So this worked pretty good. The Dow Jones didn't, but this is right on the weekly pivot, and it's right in there. Okay, so this went out to be some good push there, as you can see. All right, so that worked out nicely, and the market flew up, as you can see in the afternoon New York session. So, like I said, that's what we're expecting. Now, with the NASDAQ as well, we've got that weekly there, 63.13287. It's up there, 13.287. Looks like a bit of a outstretch, but that's fine. Okay. The market can also do the high of last week, which is around there. It could do slightly higher to take out the stops and then sell off, and that's also fine. Okay, but if it goes up first, we should also look to sell on NASDAQ as well. And I also gave you the swing days for NASDAQ as well. Okay, so as you can see, there are common days for that one. Also, if you think about it, that's that 7:30 right here. Okay, so NASDAQ worked out pretty well as well. And this is yesterday though. And this is also your 6:30 there. So we had 6:20, which was there. And then this is the 7:30, 8 o'clock region there. So the market worked out fine on the NASDAQ and SP 500 in terms of its astro hours. And that's basically how that panned. Okay, so that's how it is. So if we do push up a little bit more, it's only logical. We've got 62 and 65 up there. So we should head towards 13,128,212. 13,212 is up there. 128 is there, so we should at least get up there. Okay, that's for sure. Okay, and that's how it is. If the market comes back, then the daily pivot is going to be your buy zone. Okay, this is going to be a buy zone here, slightly under it as well. Okay, but this will be a buy zone at Astro hours as well. What to do here? You'll have to check. This is a sell zone. If you're going to sell here, check with SP 500 that we've hit a soft spot. Okay, so that it kind of corresponds, because some of you trade NASDAQ, some of you SP mini, some of you Dow, so just you can always cross check where the other index has come to. All right, so for example, yesterday, NASDAQ worked well on the Astro hours, whereas Dow Jones didn't. All right, same with the SP 500, right on the Astro hours here on the weekly pivot. So you would have thought to yourself, well, this worked out nice. Okay, so this is a buy zone at this hour, good to go long. Okay, because the market came right into it, and then it popped up, as you can see. So that's how it is. All right, so so that's it with NASDAQ as well, right? So I am expecting the market from the tops to kind of like calm down a little bit. Pretty much I am expecting it to calm down. Okay, so we should have a retracement, in fact, happening. Okay, and that's basically it. If you take a look at Bitcoin, let's take a look at Bitcoin as well. As you can see, we had the market come down. I gave you those levels, so no real surprises here. The market just sizzled down. So, like I said, we never buy at the tops there. If you want to buy, don't buy it at a place where they sold off before. Okay, so the market should fall down. We should come back into this zone, the 20s and so on. If it does, I'm good to buy and hold again, even as low as 15s and 16s again. It's possible because of the gaps that the market made here. Sooner or later, they'll want to fill this in. Okay, so if you're buyers and holders, no problem. If you are just trading it, then you need to sell at the tops. If you're using your 80 AM strategy, make sure you come to a place where the market will sell off, such as 72, which is 34,900. Okay, so, which is just a bit too far out, but what can I tell you? Okay. So today what you can do, if at the weekly pivot, you can sell. Also, this level 30,166 isn't too bad, because this is where they've got a bit of a gap here. If it goes back up, it's an Astro hour, it's okay to sell, because this is your last manipulation on the 15, so that'll be your zone there. All right, so coming up here to sell is also okay. Same with the weekly pivot too.